Good morning, everyone. Hope you all had relaxing and comfortable weekend, and we are all ready to start our daily routines with Kickstart. We are on Narada Bhakti Sutra, and in this Sutra 56 to 57, which we will be covering today, here Naraji talks about type of bhakti. Basically, it's the stages of bhakti, which in a different category he's defining as per the vasanas, as per our very instinct. So we all know that Sattva, Tamas, and Rajas. According to these three vasanas, when our emotions, when our goals are set with the bhakti, our form of devotion, then this is lower bhakti. When we go beyond these vasanas, when we go beyond these instincts, and we surrender everything to just devotion alone without any gain from it, then it's higher bhakti. So in these stages, Naraji very clarifies that you cannot start from the higher devotion, which means the higher level of devotion without attaching with the vasanas, because that's your basic instincts, that's prakriti. So you always start from the lower and you go beyond towards the higher devotion. This is again in Advaita often called Parabhakti and Aparabhakti, the lower form of devotion and the higher. When we have any expectation from our beloved or from the Aradhya, the Devata, God or Goddess, which we are worshipping, anything at all that is relating to the lower emotions, that is relating to the lower form of devotion, even though that's still devotion and you cannot reach straight away to the higher form. So let's start understanding that which levels, which stages. And again, we could be also having all these three together at the same time. It very much relate to which guna is very much dominating. So in the morning or in the evening or afternoon, also the interplay of guna could be very different as per the situation. So what we are expecting in our emotional way of devotion could also change. So let's understand these three gunas and how that changes to our bhakti. We'll start with sitting comfortably, closing your eyes. Take a moment to simply withdraw your attention from everything and everyone around and focus on your flow of breath. Simply observing your flow of breath without modifying, changing. Your normal breath in and out at this very moment. As you start to observe your breath, you may start to observe everything relating to the breath, the changes in the body or any changes in the mind. With the flow of breathing, whether it's short, whether it's slow, it always relates to a specific changes in the body and in the mind. I would like you to extend your awareness how these changes in breath bring very specific changes in the mind, flow of thoughts, or any sensation in the body. So consciously, I would like you to slow down your breath a little. Simply slowing down your inhalation and exhalation. Without holding at any point, and connecting to the changes in the mind and in the body. These changes would be very subtle, but as you extend your awareness and you can observe, you can see the mind slows down effortlessly. Body start to loosen up more and feel more loosened, relaxed. As you slightly change the pace of your breathing. As you get comfortable with the slowing down your breath, at some point, completing your exhalation, I would like you to take a pause. Hold your breath for a moment and continue breathing normal then. Once again, when you consciously change the pattern of your breathing, you may start to observe very specific changes in the mind and body again. With normal, slow breath in and out, completing your exhalation to some point, simply pause your breath, hold your breath, and continue breathing normal once again. This very movement of holding, make sure it's comfortable. And that again bring very specific changes. It pauses the mind even for that moment. As you continue to breathe normal again, you may see the slight change in the heartbeat, in the pulse, sudden spike of energy up or down. Being conscious, being aware, being fully connected with everything, anything. So each of these changes, you can reconnect for your own good. Calming and relaxing body through simply slowing down your breath and extending the movement of stillness with taking a simple pause in between. These natural changes not only change the pattern of the mind, but also shift all the movement for ahead. You may now start to observe that mind is much more quiet, slow. And in between, the stillness has become the natural, very much effortless. You continue breathing normal and simply now bring your awareness on the mind. As you start to observe your mind, there's nothing to hold on. Seems a dark, invisible state. The only thing we observe, observing the mind, is the thoughts. Thoughts that constantly come and go. So observing the mind, I would like you to observe the thoughts, which comes, what, and for how long that stays. And as you start to observe your own thoughts, it may very quickly change or replaced by other. It's like constant flow of breathing. Each of these thoughts are very much related or trigger or get connected with a very specific emotions at times. So the thought of future, uncertainty, or a question or concern often lead to fear, anxiety, worry. Any thought relating to a past incident which bring back the memory they are so interrelated that one leads to another. And often, to manage this all together, no matter which path we choose, on the path of bhakti, with ignorance, with not knowing the true nature or the purpose of our own, often led by the fear. When we choose the paths of bhakti to manage these fears, your devotion, your love for the divine, your rituals, your worship, your prayers are solely based on the fears to manage. I would like you to reconnect with the time when you solely performed a worship, ritual, or even your daily ritual of devotion, where you often ask for taking away these fears, helping you to manage these fears, or taking care of these fears. Using our faith on the divine, help us to manage these fears. Concerning for a future incident or the present, when we ask for the help from the divine to help us manage these fears, the very form is the tamasic bhakti. Born out of ignorance, when we connect with the divine, asking to help, without judgment, without labeling right and wrong. When we do this, when it happens, it's still bhakti, it's still devotion. But its cry for help is born out of fear, uncertainty, not knowing. As this devotion grows within us, as we manage our fear, worries, and challenges using this devotion, soon enough we also understand that it will be taken care of on its own anyway. As in divine presence, you will not be harmed. Soon the ignorance also have the knowledge coming in. Let's bring back your awareness to the moment of stillness. Connecting with the divine, connecting with devotion. At times when we are asking for the very specific benefit or outcome, strongly connecting with our desires, our expectations, our dreams or ambitions, anything that we wish for. And when, with these emotions, we connect with the divine, that takes the form of Rajasic Bhakti. Any ritual, any devotional practices which you often do or you have performed, you wish to perform, for one of these specific outcomes, wanting to gain specific outcome from the devotions. Here, desire to grow, desire to peace, desire to happiness, anything and everything of our desires to gain our expectations in return of these rituals or the form of bhakti. Very much connected with the vasanas or the gunas of our own. The devotion is strong, but tied with the personal needs. The Rajasic Bhakti, driven by the passion and towards the results. Let's take a moment to reflect upon what am I seeking in this devotion? Is it a reward, a sense of control, or escape? Let's take a moment of stillness, pausing all the thoughts and bringing it to complete silence. There must be a time when we are no longer seeking or striving reward. Simply wanting to feel the quiet joy, the selfless devotion born of inner peace and surrender. When we spontaneously connect with the divine, not to gain anything, but simply enjoy its presence. There's no desire to gain, but there is still a desire to have Him. To find Him, to relate to Him. It's no longer about asking or receiving, but it's about merging into the divine presence. The Sattvic Bhakti. From ignorance to knowledge, passing through the stages of the vasanas, gunas, and understanding of our own relation with the divine, we come to a phase where we need nothing from the divine to manage our worldly affairs or to gain anything from the world. At this time, we simply wanting to connect with Him, hoping that that's only the way of peace and happiness. There is still a desire to gain peace and happiness from connecting with divine. Sattvic Bhakti very quickly, very swiftly may change into Parabhakti, the higher devotion. Where this peace and happiness is divine. You no longer ask for even that peace and happiness. It's connecting with the divine. You already have found everything. There's nothing else to gain or to be. You have become. You feel connected as an integral part of the divine. You feel this bond and connection effortlessly. There's nothing else to be seeking or gaining from this devotion. Devotion or the love for the divine is enough for itself. You lose the very identity of you and the divine. There are no two anymore. Divine is peace and happiness, and the very happiness is divine. Hard to discriminate, differentiate. All you feel and connect is the bliss, and that bliss is divine. You are that bliss, and you are divine. The difference between you and him is also disappears. The difference of the world and him no longer exists. You may have the glimpse of that state in between. Or any stage from tamasic bhakti to rajasic or to sattvic. The constant evolution of emotions, our understanding, with the practice, all that grows toward parabhakti, the higher devotion. When the supreme peace of the highest comes, the restlessness ends on its own. Reminding ourselves to a state there where he sees nothing else, there where he hears nothing else. This very attitude of love, where there is no separateness between the lover and the beloved, Bhakta and Aradhya, you and the divine. Where there has been discovered and gained a perfect identity with the Lord is the highest. The very self, the steadfast in mind he established in me alone as a supreme goal. Once experienced the parabhakti, the higher devotion, you're never bound with in the interplay of gunas. Even when you reconnect with the mind, gunas, and prakriti, the very connection of divine is not affected by the interplay of guna. The emotion, the changing emotions, the changing thoughts will not influence our very connection with the divine. There's no coming back to the lower bhakti anymore. Sing with your mind, with the flow of breath, with the flow of emotion. Let's take a moment to continuously observe, connect, and understand the interplay of guna and our divine connection and how that changes each time. As long as we are tied with the vasanas and gunas, this interplay will dominate our devotion. Let's continue this process. As we grow and evolve from the vasanas and free ourselves from the interplay of gunas, bhakti in every form is still the love for divine. That alone is enough to evolve and help us to free ourselves from the foundation of gunas. As you reconnect, I would like you to again take your awareness to your breath and observing all the changes as you change the pattern of breath. I would like you to slowly take a deep breath in, fully inhale, and hold for a moment before you start to exhale. Exhale slowly. Make sure you have full control over your breath. Continue breathing normal, or you can start another round. Slow and deep breath in, fully inhale. Hold your breath for a moment before you start to slowly exhale. This very change and the conscious effort also bring the changes in the body and mind. You may reconnect with the sensation and the changes triggers throughout the body. The flow of energy, tinglings, any sensation you feel in your hands, your fingertips. Let's consciously connect with body parts, scanning and moving your awareness throughout the body, and make sure you feel each and every part of your body. No numbness. Slowly move your fingers a little, your toes. If you still feel any numbness to any part of the body, very slightly stretch internally and relax. Without moving too much, simply stretch and relax. You're fully connected with the surrounding, with the mind, and being aware of the present moment as you reconnect with your day ahead, making sure you're consciously observing the interplay of guna, thoughts, emotion, and with each of this interplay, the changing form of devotion as we go along. Nothing good or bad, all is the process to go towards Para-bhakti, higher devotion. So let's continue this journey ahead. As you're ready, slowly opening your eyes, looking down.